I tell people I'm studying midwifery, I'm often met with a lot of misconceptions. People seem to have this idea that midwives are these old-timey ladies who show up when you're in labor at your house with a candlestick and a leather belt for you to bite on during contractions, but that's absolutely not the case, anymore at least. I'm here today to dispel any lingering misconceptions about midwifery and hopefully persuade you that midwives offer the best model of care for women's health, and maybe hopefully persuade you to have one at your birth or encourage your friends and family to have one at theirs. So to do that, I am going to explain what a midwife is, the pathway of midwifery education, what makes them such experts, and then lay out the model of midwifery care. So let's start by getting more familiar with what a midwife actually is. Midwife means with women. So midwives provide womb to tomb holistic health care for women, but the majority of their work focuses on the childbearing years, so they spend a lot of time in labor and delivery. Nowadays in the United States, they can practice anywhere, both in the hospital and out of the hospital, but no matter where they practice, the characteristic quality about midwives that I love and that makes them so unique and incredible is their passion and their patience and their care with what they do. Midwives don't call their work a career. They call their work a calling. A lot of midwives feel born to do this and can't imagine doing any other job. And that passion really comes through in the way that they practice, and you can see the effect it has on their clients or patients. But of course, it's not all love and intuition that makes them great. They're extensively educated, and I want to share with you what midwifery education looks like in the United States today. So there are two types of midwives currently. There's certified professional midwives and certified nurse midwives. Well, they both operate on the same model of care. The professional midwives are going to be more the traditional route. So they don't go to nursing school, meaning they cannot work in a hospital. But they still do go to midwifery college, which is 3 to 5 years of didactic education combined with thousands and thousands of clinical hours of experience before they get the chance to sit the state licensure examination and then become certified by the Medical Board of California to practice outside of the hospital as midwives. On the other hand is the nurse midwife. These are nurses who've gone on to get a master's degree in midwifery. And with their nursing background, they can practice in the hospital. They're also qualified to practice out of the hospital. A midwife can attend your hospital birth, and that will look a lot like having a doctor there. She can prescribe medications, administer narcotics, and even get you an epidural just like you would with an OBGYN. So the real difference between midwives and OBs in the hospital setting is their framework and the way that they approach their patients and clients. So now I want to explain the midwifery model of care so you can understand what's setting them apart and making them such excellent care providers. The OBGYN framework is going to focus on pathology, finding out what's wrong with you, and management. So how am I going to manage your birth? On the other hand, midwives are going to focus not on pathology, but ground their work in the fact that birth is a normal physiologic process. So they're not looking for what's wrong. They're making sure everything's going right. And that's a pretty big difference. And then where OBGYNs are trying to manage your birth, midwives are focused on informing you. So you have all the information you need to make the best choice for you and your baby and your family. Midwives root their work in trusting women, their intuition, their knowledge, and their ability to birth their babies in a safe and efficient way. And they're not going to rush your process. They're not going to put you on a timeline like an OB might. And I know that's something I would want, not to feel rushed while I'm going through something that intense. And this model of care actually renders incredible outcomes. I've shared with everyone a fact sheet from the World Health Organization. It comes from one of their research studies on the outcomes from the midwife model of care, and I encourage you to take a look at those because those statistics kind of speak for themselves in terms of why you would want to have a midwife at your birth. And it's part of the World Health Organization's global campaign to push midwifery as the best option for women's health care. So with all of that now, I hope you can see that the only leather belt a midwife is bringing to your birth is the one to hold up her boss lady pants, because she's a boss. She is extremely educated, extremely experienced, knowledgeable, working from passion, and bringing with her an excellent model of care that is considered world class by global organizations and local ones alike. In conclusion, I just want to emphasize what a great option midwives are, and that you should take the time to find one for yourself when it either comes time for you to have your baby, or encourage your friends to look into finding a midwife when it's maybe their turn to have a baby. I'll leave you today with a resource that you can go look up midwives if that's relevant for you. It's really simple, midwife.org, and midwives will be registered there, so you can find your local midwife and hopefully find one that works for you. Now you know how excellent and compassionate and knowledgeable and skilled midwives are, and I really urge you to find one for yourself as your care provider, or your wife, or your friend, because I do want you to have the best possible experience. Thank you so much.